think the first thing that at least my eyes were drawn to, and I think probably some people's, was the change in goal. Defensively, obviously things were rough in the last few games in the league, but it comes right after a clean sheet for Yannick. So what went into that decision of changing the keeper then?
That was pre-planned, in order for Yannick not to play 3 games in a week, and making sure that we had somebody fresh going into the weekend's game. So Hunter knew that he was going to start that game prior to the midweek cup match, and Yannick knew that Hunter was going to get a start. We have been pretty poor defensively, conceded a lot of goals, and maybe that change sparked us into being a little bit tighter in both of them games.
I guess sort of going forward, how do you see the goalkeeper situation shaping up? Because obviously Portland sends Hunter here, wanting him to get games, I'm assuming. But Yannick being the number 1 last year and to start this year, how do you see that sort of shaping?
Well, you need to give a goalkeeper a chance. That's the thing, and you can't just give him a chance, and if he doesn't do it in one game, you can't then keep changing it. So, we've given Yannick a lot of games to start with, and, fought through some issues with him and the rest of the team in defensively. And if Hunter now gets his start, and he does well, and then he'll retain that, for a period of time, and hopefully that keeps Yannick sharp. And if we have to change again, we'll change again. But ideally, you want to secure spot in that number 1 position. And unfortunately, we've always been sort of fighting against that.
Other reflections from watching things back on Saturday?
I mean, we did okay. We just couldn't get the second goal. I'm pleased with the fact that we fought back after going a goal down so early. And I'm pleased that Hunter made a couple of really big saves for us. Because if that would have gone to 2, it's difficult when you're playing away from home at altitude to get back into the game. But I was really pleased that they did get back into the game, and really disappointed that we didn't go on and win it.
A couple things on the goal, a positive and maybe negative. The way it kind of played out seems kind of like exactly the style you want to play, where it's center back to the back of the net in 6, 7, 8 seconds. But it was also I think the first touch in the 18 of the day in the 31st minute. So kind of both those things in contrast with the goal.
Well, the goal was good. Like I said, we went and we played through the thirds of the field. We went quickly and went forward, even though we couldn't get the forward penetration, so we had to go laterally into Jack and then play around the outside of him. And touches in the box are really important, because that's where the majority of goals are scored from. So that is a negative, but sometimes you've got to take into account how the opposition play. And when you look at the possession stats of the game, we had 60 to 40%, and even when we were 11v11, I think we still dominated the ball, but we dominated it because the opposition sat deep and didn't really want to take the ball.
Looking forward, North Carolina are also trophy holders, but that was in a different league last year. Only 1 win so far from them. What have you seen sort of maybe where their struggles lie early on this season, and what to expect at the weekend?
They're a good team. They've got people that can hurt you, especially in forward positions. They've got a lot of pace in forward positions, and they play a system can play between the lines. They've got 3 up front, but they're quite fluid, and they're allowed freedom, 1 centre forward and 2 underneath players. And then we've got to look at what we can do to them, I think, because we're at home again, and that's something that we've not done. We need to get a win at home, and while we understand that they've got some strengths, we need to make sure that we put our game on top of them, and that's something that we want to try and do. And we're going to try and get our first win at home, and it's a lot about first. We want to get the first goal. We want to have a strong start and a big finish, and we want to win first and second balls, that sort of thing. And that's not what we've been doing at home recently. We've had moments at home where 20 minutes has been good, and then that 20 minutes has been really good. Then we've been 20 minutes that have been bad, and that's been really bad, and we've conceded. So we're going to try and put a 90 minutes complete performance in.